Good afternoon. Welcome to the Thurston County Board of County Commissioners Check-In for Monday, April 8th, 2024. It's 2:05 p.m. My name is Ty Menzer, Chair of the Board. Commissioner Fournier will be joining us on Zoom just shortly. We have Commissioners Emily Klaus, Gary Edwards, and Carolina Mejia, as well as County Manager Leonard Hernandez and Assistant County Manager Robin Campbell and Rob Gelder in the boardroom. We have public virtual attendance available on the Thurston County YouTube channel. We'll be in session till 4:30 if needed to cover an agenda that includes an executive session to start off with and then some specific items after that. The executive session is estimated to be 30 minutes, and that will stick with that unless I hear differently.
Well, I'm hoping that it won't even be that long. So.
Let's say 20 minutes then?
Yeah, let's.
Okay, well, let's estimate 20 minutes, and if we need to extend, that'll be made note of. So we're going to just start with that. An executive session pursuant to 4230-110-1B of RCW to consider selection of a site or acquisition of real estate by lease or purchase when public knowledge regarding such consideration would cause likelihood of increased price. Purchase of a building is the topic. 20 minutes estimate, commissioner action may follow. And so it's 2:06, so if you are waiting for the rest of the agenda, it'll be approximately 2:26 when we come back in the regular session. Okay, we are back from executive session. There's no formal commissioner action to follow. And so we're moving on to item 1, sub bullet 2, FJC Control Room. Assistant County Manager Campbell, you were saying,
So, I was showing Leonard how to create these agendas, and I should have taken that item off because you provided direction last week. So
okay, so we had nothing to
there's no
address
new
today.
information or decision to be made.
Okay, very good. Then next up is reports on external boards and commissions from commissioners. Raise your hand if you have one. Commissioner Edwards.
I guess from Capcom, we've been working, the county has been in the middle of a permit process for Capcom out at one of the fire stations. And you've heard me mention that a couple times over the last few years. And it's still being delayed. I can only tell you at this point, the director over at Capcom has been talking to Josh. So if you hear something about it, it's been hanging fire for a couple years
What's the
now.
project?
Radio tower?
Radio tower, yeah, I just heard something about this, that this is still going on.
Yes. And that is a problem.
What is the issue exactly? I
Well,
heard about it a couple of years ago.
The delay has been maybe Motorola maybe had some delays in the process, but we have also changed staff several times in the process, and so.
They had a consultant as well that they hired, that was not yet providing all the information.
All the stuff, I mean,
So
it's
we're
not
still
any
waiting
one,
information from their
it
consultant.
isn't any one person's fault, but I'm told that it's a multitude of screw-ups, let's just put it that way. And it's been going on for a long time, and, you know, fortunately, you know, the radio transmission abilities are such if you move and different things, but if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time and something happens, we're gonna have trouble, so, that's all.
Can I got calls about this as well, and I had a kind of touch base with Leonard as well as Josh, and Josh said he did get an email from Wendy Hill from TCOM, and him and Brett were going to be communicating with them. I guess just a suggestion for me, it might be good for Leonard and Josh to reach out, as well as maybe Rob, since that's one of your departments, to reach out to Wendy and kind of set a meeting. Just because from what I've heard, the board is frustrated, and there's been a lot of back and forth, and from, you know, what I gathered from Josh, you know, it's like we've given the information to the consultant, and there might be some inexperience from the consultant's end as well. So I think maybe that's a good next step to move forward, is maybe having a meeting with Wendy and having our executive staff just reach out, trying to kind of patch things through with, you know, they are a partner agency, and
And a lot of things depend on them, fire, police, ambulance, I mean, the things that we might want some help with. And I'm representative of the demographic that leans on them more than any now.
is the board okay with that direction?
Having Leonard and,
Josh and Rob reach out to Wendy and kind of set up a meeting too.
yeah, I mean, this is like deja vu, because Ramiro, I got contacted by Lenny Greenstein like 2 years ago. And we set
Yes.
up a meeting with Ramiro, and I was told that it was like,
It's fixed. It's
obstacles
almost-
were gotten
yeah,
through, and
right.
it was just
And it's
about to be
still pending.
fixed, and I was really surprised to hear it's still rolling around
Yeah.
this long after, so.
We'll get more clarity around.
Yeah, Rob and I will connect with Josh and we'll touch base with him.
I actually missed just the early part of this, trying to get to that quorum meeting when I had to leave, and so I just know there's just, it's not done yet, but I'm told we've covered all our bases, so, Rob, I don't know if you've talked to somebody about it since I was there last week, so.
With the radio?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, just a passing conversation. with-
okay,
with Josh.
okay, well, good,
Get it-
well, you guys will get it figured out now.
Okay, other external board reports?
That's it for me,
You ready? Ellie, no? Okay.
Oh.
of
See
substance.
if I've got anything.
Sorry, I kind of just, had a, really good meeting about the Grand Mountain Community Plan updates. And so that is a group that it's Commissioner Fournier and his staff are leading, and you know, we joined as well as Josh from just a bunch of our staff, Josh, Jennifer, Rob, as well as external partners, CDC. The tribe couldn't make it this last meeting, but we're just talking about how to move forward in terms of a ground mound. And so we're gonna be hearing more from staff on that and in the coming weeks. And just a really good conversation on like, you know, what does a community plan look like down in that area? Had a really good meeting with the TRPC. Staff did an amazing job. They did the industrial study, kind of the same presentation that we got, and we got really good questions. And then we had a conversation about about the Unified Planning Works program, and let them know that from the counties, basically they had this list of like projects with unfunded needs, right? But we didn't know how the list was prioritized, and so we asked for involvement. And then, you know, we just had concerns because some of the projects that were on the list were really weren't kind of where our priorities were, and so just kind of relaying those. Sorry if that was confusing. Let's see, had a meeting with Grace Harbor and Commissioner Fournier in regards to the ORV park. And this is a park that's split between Grace Harbor and Thurston County. But Grace Harbor owns it. It was purchased by Thurston County back in the day with RCO funds, but how somehow it got transferred over to Grace Harbor. Not sure how all of that worked out. I've asked Jennifer to kind of look into now and want to convert it into something else. Their request was similar to what the Nisqually tribe was asking us in terms of permitting. If, you know, they have this park that's split between these two jurisdictions, is there a possibility that with Thurston County just allow them to do just one permit system, which would be through theirs? And so, but then we also started talking about like, what does a partnership look like between Thurston County and Grace Harbor? Is this something where maybe it's a park where both our names can go in there? And so we're gonna be having ongoing conversations on that.
So the county, if we're talking about the ORV park that's right on the border.
Yeah.
The county was thrilled to get out of that. And the risk factor of being a partner on that park was huge. Because of the number of accidents and lawsuits and liability.
Enforcement issues were a big issue.
Horrible. And so the county actively sought to get out.
And so Grace Harbor is actively looking to get out as that as
Well,
well.
it's not
I'm sure they are, and they didn't particularly want to take it on.
Yeah.
They had taken it for a pretty short period of time when they wanted us to take it back, and we said, no, thank you.
Yeah, and so
So it's not the first time this has come up.
they, that's why kind of they're looking to permit it, just go a different route is what, you know, we've heard from them, and they have kind of like some plans drawn up and kind of just, they're looking to go a different direction than what it's been, because they have been leasing that property to different vendors over the years, which have, and they're like, there's been accidents, there's been, you know, which, and so they're just looking to head into a different direction completely. And the direction that they're looking to head into was of interest, so.
Can we leverage, so like, yeah, you do all the permitting, and as part of that, you are responsible for all the issues that we don't want to deal with, sort of a quid pro quo?
Yeah, I think what we're gonna be with, we're gonna be doing an internal meeting, me and Commissioner Fournier with staff here, kind of talking about like what their proposal is and laying it all out. And then they have asked that our team go down to the ORV park and then have discussions with Grace Harbor about this, and so, that's going to be.
How far down is this? Do you
I
know
was
where it
like,
is?
I didn't know if it was his district or his district.
'Cause I've got the part of, Wayne and I share the Grace
it's
Harbor
Ty's
border.
district?
Ties district.
Is
Is it? It's closer to the freeway?
If you are
it's right off the
driving out the highway, it is right
Okay, then
there.
that's my
Highway
district.
It is your
Yeah.
district?
Just off eight.
It's yours.
But if Wayne wants to take the lead,
Well,
I'm okay with that.
So please make sure that you involve, risk right from the start.
right from the start, okay, that's a good one to know.
So they have a proposal that they want to make to the county about
Yeah.
this facility? Okay.
Yeah.
But didn't it come, you said it started out with an issue about stormwater fees?
Well,
or
yeah,
something?
so last year, it started with an issue about stormwater fees, because they were saying like the county's charging us stormwater fees and,
Our
what,
county?
yes, because it's split up, right? So they're like, we're taking care of everything stormwater related, like we're having to pay for this. And then on top of that, Thurston County is charging us. And what I found out from Public Works is like, yeah, we've talked this over and laid out why we have to charge them these fees. And, Public Works laid it out very well, and I sent over that information to them. They did bring it up again, but they didn't kind of press it on that as much as, can we do our own permit? That was their main ask, and then the topic of a partnership was kind of like the next step on that, so.
Because I'm imagining it's a property that, even though it crosses the county, it like has an internal coherence, is that the idea? Like, so if it were to be converted into some other kind of park, it would still it still naturally crosses the county line, is that? I've never seen it, I guess I should go look at it, I didn't know it existed, frankly.
I didn't
until
know
you
it
brought
was
up.
in your district, so
It's my
I thought it
understanding
was-
that the county border just kind of splits it, and it's like any
So
other border.
my
it's
point
an
is, it would be
invisible one,
logical to keep it sort of in a common functionality, maybe if it's always a shame when, just jurisdictional bureaucracy gets in the.
I don't know that there's anyone over in Public Works that would remember when we got out of the partnership.
I was the sheriff in those days. I think, when that happened.
You were the sheriff?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I wasn't even here, I just heard the stories.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
A long time ago.
I don't have any really committee reports myself. Constituent, I met with the assessor's office, I met with Washington Conservation Action. They're gonna be part of our forestry presentation that we're having coming up, and they kind of have a different philosophy about the whole way of managing older forests, which will be interesting to hear from some of the other groups that we've heard from. And I met with the master builder's representative about the tree ordinance and what their concerns might be about any changes that we would be talking about. So more to come on all of those topics. Anything else before we go to our next agenda item? Okay, next up is Commissioner items 3. And first one is proposed meeting with port commissioners.
So this is from Commissioner Fournier. He has suggested the county commissioners have a joint meeting with port commissioners. So this is a question, are you all interested? And if so, we will get it on the calendar and set an agenda.
I wasn't aware of anything, but if Wayne wants to do that, I'm fine with meeting with him anytime need be.
Great.
Kind of almost like we do, we tried to do with tribal, kind of get some
We
stuff
try to
going,
do
and
the
it
tribal,
always doesn't work out,
we need to get those back on the calendar. We've, tried meetings with the cities. I know that the city of Lacey would like to have a joint meeting, specifically to talk about the annexation.
Are they going to
concerns,
annex
but,
Tanglewood?
Same one. Or to do a joint, hearing on that annexation. So, and if you're interested in those meetings, we'll start working on them. It's particularly difficult to get them on the schedule.
we had, for Leonard's benefit, we had, we have the 3 tribal groups, and we had the, lofty ambition of quarterly meetings with council, and it usually ends up to be about once a year,
Okay,
but we do those.
nice.
Quarterly is probably too much, frankly, but like maybe twice a year would be nice, and have them be regular. And then with the cities, same thing, but Lacey's really the only ones that have ever actually occurred. And again, we probably aspire to do them quarterly or biannually, but we do about one a year with Lacey. And I don't remember ever having done one with Olympia or Tumwater. Tumwater, we had that joint public hearing on the annexation, but that was a part of the process. That wasn't like the councils getting together the way the Lacey ones, where we develop an agenda of just random topics. It's pretty useful, I think.
I remember in the past when we had regular meetings with Olympia and Tumwater and Lacey.
Okay.
And then
That was before my
the
time.
commissioners changed, and that shifted a bit. And then there were regular meetings with the smaller cities. And then again, shift in leadership, and so it all
Okay.
depends on who you would like us to reach out to.
Well, I've never done one with the port, but I certainly don't have any problem with that idea.
The last one we did one was when we were talking about going to the
Going to
5, and we
five,
yeah.
requested
That was
for
the
them.
last time.
Well, that was yeah. You guys sent me to go to try to get them to wait, and then
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
and then they said, well, let's go meet with the commissioners and see if we can hash it out, and we did. So that was kind of a specific issue topic right there, rather than just, hey, let's talk about various issues of mutual concern.
We always talk about HCP.
Yep.
And the needs that they have relative to the port property, outside of Tumwater.
Mhm. That's always the topic of, and then Capitol Lake stuff's always a topic of mutual concern. Okay, so there's a thumbs up on that, and let's go to agenda items for 3 cities plus county meeting.
This is also an item that I put on your agenda. This is, the 3 cities and county meeting is coming up next Friday. It's normally attended by the chair and the county manager. We are hosting this month, and, my question for all of you is, do you have any items that you would like on that agenda?
So let me just say, I will not be able to attend the meeting. I have State Building Code Council all day. Commissioner Fournier as vice chair, I guess, this isn't even on our list of committees, so we don't have an assigned alternate. I would say he'd be the obvious as vice chair, but if he's not available, then other commissioners it'd be nice to have any commissioner that would be interested. County, it's a little different. So there's the mayor's meeting, and those are the mayors, and then every other month, the chair of the county commission is invited to that. And then this is more, 3 cities started as a coordinating COVID response, so that we were meeting weekly to what are we doing, who's doing what's working. And it was also, and it involved the county administrator, so city managers, county manager, and the chair and/or mayors or delegate. And we just kept going with it because it was just a good place for, at that level, a group of people to talk about just whatever issue. So now it's really open to any issue. We talk about housing and homelessness stuff a lot because that's an issue that crosses our boundaries. That's a frequent topic. Commissioner Mejia is probably better. I did it for a year. You've been doing it for 2 years. I don't know what. So it's really open for if the board wants to have an issue hashed out with county manager and city managers and mayors, it can be anything, basically, is what I'm saying. Yep.
I mean, I would like to bring the regional corrections, make sure that it's at the forefront of it. I think that all commissioners have said that it's a priority. And now that we have Leonard here, right, we can, I think, just bring it back that it is an interest, and if jurisdictions are interested,
I have a one-on-one with Leonard after this meeting, and I can give him a background on that issue so that you're up to speed, if that's good, because I've been working on that for a while. Okay, Any other ideas, the things we want to cover?
You can always think of things.
So,
Just to note that I did attend the last one with Commissioner Fournier, and he did raise, it was shortly after the board's retreat and prioritization. So he did mention community corrections and that being sort of a priority area. But everyone was just information sharing. It wasn't a topic that folks really talked about and did a deep dive into, so.
Leah is also working on that at the direction of the board and is currently on maternity leave, so. But we could certainly resurface the proposal that she brought forward to all of you. Another topic that I've heard come up at the meeting that I attended with you was, animal services, usually comes up. The possibility of aligning the LTAC, although I understand Commissioner Fournier's scheduled a meeting on that topic. I'm not aware of quite what's going on there.
I guess I would, a topic I would ask is in regards to where is everyone on ARPA?
Oh, thank you. That is an excellent thing and a good time to bring that up.
Okay, and again, other jurisdictions throw in ideas too. With us hosting, does that mean Leonard's the one that builds the agenda?
So I'm working with him to hand it off. He'll be sending out an email to the city managers, asking them for agenda items. And then we'll figure out we'll probably hold it here in this room and figure out where to get the food from. Maybe the suggestion was Vic's.
Okay, if that's good on that, that's a good starting point. Other commissioner items?
Letter? Yeah.
One thing I wanted to share is the sheriff asked to hold a public forum in this room on April 11th related to the hiring of former Deputy Burbank. And so the room was made available. Just wanted to make you all aware of it.
The time?
The time was given at this point.
Okay, evening probably?
In evening, I think.
5 to 7.
5 to 7, okay,
Thank you.
It's been shared widely among the media as well.
okay, thank
I
you.
know the doors were an issue last time. Has that been
Yes,
fixed?
we
Oh, yeah, we need to
gotta
fix that.
follow up with facilities with the magic key.
There's gonna be an evening
your
public
function, the door
forum
was
that,
locked.
We're gonna ask the sheriff to post someone at the door for this particular event.
What is I'm gonna look at Commissioner Edwards, because I'm sure you know the answer to this. What is the, you know how we have Civil Service Commission? How does that play into, like, if you look on the website, it's like they oversee all hiring of the Thurston County Sheriff's Office. I was like, how would they play into
It's kind of
something?
antiquated with HR and everything, the difference.
Do they oversee certain types?
Complaints brought against discipline action involving the deputies.
So not people that are being hired, but later on in the process?
No, but I mean, they do the criteria involved in the hiring and stuff, but mostly it has to do with complaints. The sheriff disciplines somebody, how do they want to rectify that? They have an opportunity to go in front of the Civil Service Commission if they want. That's the main thing. I will say, when I was first elected sheriff years ago, I was told, don't mess with the civil service or your evidence room. And you might stay out of trouble.
I would say that, and I'm looking at PIO, but I don't know who's responsible for that portion of our county website, the Civil Service Commission page, because the way it's written, if they are limited in the way Commissioner Edwards says, it seems like they have a broader role, and the community would look at that and go, and would think that they would have had a role in kind of what we were dealing with here last week. And
Oh.
they might want to tighten up the you might suggest to them to look at that and tighten that language up so that it doesn't create a misimpression of that they do something that they don't. And I don't know what the answer is,
Oh,
but
yeah.
just
can see
people
how
are
that-
asking me about it. So
I can
and
see how
didn't-
that would have happened.
Kind of threw me for a loop, because it says they oversee all hiring for the sheriff's department, and it was like, well, then why did, and we appoint those members.
Well, things like,
According to that web page.
I don't know, probably weight or age or college degree or some of those kind of things, I think they do have, but not individuals, not individual.
Like they said, like the criteria?
Yeah, some of the criteria.
Okay. Well, yeah, it would be probably good in the wake of what happened, it would be good to clarify that, so they don't get, caught up in any of it. Is this the draft letter for the Olympia?
Yeah, and I incorporated, I heard comments from Commissioner Fournier as well as Commissioner Edwards, and I incorporated those like changes in there, and so this is kind of like the final edit and just, I'll pass it to Commissioner Klaus since this was,
Yeah, I really liked the way, where we landed here. I would be happy to see, commissioners sign this, and it sounds like it's been around and everyone's had a chance to provide input, so, I'm ready to sign off on it if my seatmates are.
All right, looks like you got everybody.
Cool,
Good work, Commissioner.
thank you.
All right, very good. Other commissioner items before Commissioner.
oh, is electronic signature gonna be put on these since
You could certainly do it that way, so we
that
can
way,
get
I
it
know
out right
it's,
away.
yeah, I was like, since it's due tomorrow, is that okay?
That's great, thank you.
Commissioner.
I was also gonna ask about the Civil Service Commission, so that's interesting that it was brought up, but, is there, other than the website, is there any more info that we could get on that? Like, who staffs that?
That's staffed by HR, and we could ask them to come in and give you more information on it.
That would
So
be
we can
awesome.
add that to a work session.
Okay, that'd be great.
It's also, yes, because it's listed that the commissioners appoint and it's listed that there's only like 2 members, which it's like,
Yeah.
Supposed to be 3.
There's three.
there's 3 and that's the correct
We
number.
appoint?
Vacant, you're right. So there's only two. One is vacant.
Yeah, we do.
One is vacant, and so we're supposed to be trying to find someone for that? Because I don't remember talking about it.
I don't
frankly.
remember ever appointing any, I didn't even know
Me
that
neither.
was,
It's,
I had the same reaction.
usually it lasts a long time till somebody dies.
That's why I'm like, I'll find out, so I'm
Yeah.
asking since we have this time. Our mutual friend, I think, was the one that brought this to our attention. So I was like, yeah, it was really, I mean, I don't remember ever appointing anyone to the commission or discussing a vacancy or,
no.
all right, we'll figure that out with
I
HR's
honestly
help.
thought it was a different entity
too.
altogether. That's, I've heard talk about it, but I honestly, in my head, it was a different entity, like I
We'll
didn't
add
know.
that to a upcoming work session and ask HR to come and
Did you know? I
give you information.
Yeah, and before there were, heck, it was in place before there were ever any union representation things,
Civil services, yeah,
They've
many,
got
many years.
several different avenues they can go now.
It's all about commissioned employees.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay,
I have a couple more. So the forum on Thursday that the sheriff will be holding here, I have 2 questions about that. Do we have a special notice going out so that the commissioners can attend, or do people know if they're going to attend? Because I was interested, and I just wanted to make sure that we knew if a quorum was gonna be there.
I had not heard.
I'm not gonna be attending. I'm going to a funeral, but
Okay.
I'll be out of town.
We haven't sent anything out to the commissioner's office. We were just updating you with that note.
Okay.
So we don't know if there's going to be a quorum of others that are going to attend.
I didn't know about it till just now, but I think I can attend. I might be a little late or leaving a little early, but I should be here for part of it.
Okay.
If 3 were gonna attend, though, it does need to be noticed, I suppose.
Yes, it does. And what's the date?
April 11th.
Thursday.
Today's the 8th.
we
So
only-
we need to get right on that and get the special notice posted.
Well, there's a notice even if 3 are not going, if there's only 2.
It sounds like there might be three though, so if there's a
No, no,
chance,
wait.
we'd rather have it noticed than.
There are
We,
two,
have
we
an
can't make
appointment.
it.
Oh,
That
Neither
evening.
of you
Yeah,
can
neither of
make
them
it,
can make
so
it.
we don't know about Commissioner Fournier.
right,
I can reach out to Matt to find out.
okay, that'd be great.
Yeah,
He probably is just.
Actually,
but again, it's better to have it noticed than not. If there's a
Yeah, I
chance.
think just notice it just in case, right? Just that way we don't,
Run the ground.
yeah.
Right.
I'll be like coming a little late and leaving a little early, but I'll probably be here for maybe an hour in the middle.
Okay. And then my last thing about that, I just wanted to ask if I heard this right. Did someone mention having a staff member at the door that evening?
One of the things we'll ask is that because the card is not working right now.
Oh, okay.
And you cannot prop these doors open, so we will ask the sheriff to be posting someone at the door.
Okay. My only concern is if we have a deputy at the door, it might cause people to feel intimidated coming in, considering the nature of the forum.
Okay.
Maybe we can have the door fixed by then.
Maybe.
I believe Amy reached out to Carrie Case about those details.
I'm sure she did. We could think about,
Okay, thank you. I just had two people reach out about it while we were in the meeting, so I figured if people are watching and bringing it up to me right now, then probably it could become an issue. I just wanna make sure people feel welcome to come in.
Still-
That's all I have. Oh, wait, sorry, I had one more thing.
Okay.
Sorry if I interrupted.
Nope, go ahead.
My last thing on my other commissioners' items was regarding the helicopter thing this Wednesday. I saw on the agenda somewhere that the vendor is coming in, or he's on the list of attendees, and I thought that we had mentioned concerns around having that person attend. Did we decide to move forward and
so
invite
I
him?
specifically asked if the board would, like to have or not have, that, and two said, yes, bring them, and two said, no, don't, and one abstained. So that left me hanging, and the sheriff invited the, and what the sheriff has said is it's not a vendor, it's the operator, so I was, so.
I don't,
If
I
if
don't know
you'd
what he's,
like to change that direction, we can uninvite the operator
When is this happening?
Tomorrow,
No.
no, Wednesday.
Wednesday.
and, let's see, I'm here on Wednesday. It's gonna be nip and tuck for me.
I was one of the ones opposed to
Yep.
the vendor, so I just, again, I think even if it's an operator, I think the board just really needs to be careful with this, just, we're opening up the door, and, you know, not to put the board in a difficult situation, but if this is going to be
Is
kind
it,
of the route we're gonna go, I mean,
is it a work session? Is that what's going on?
It is a work session.
work session, you know, I can start inviting vendors as well. I have several vendors reach out to me about different programs, right, that I'm interested in, but out of respect for the board's time, I follow the process, just like everyone else, and, you know, a lot of those don't even make it to the board just because it's not the right time, and so, I just, I don't think it's a good idea to bring in an operator at this time.
I would restate my position in agreement with Commissioner
Oh, we're
Mejia.
trying to convince you, is
Two,
this?
oh, I thought you were trying to convince Ty,
Maybe his abstention.
because he abstained.
Yeah, Commissioner Mensah abstained.
I don't, so Tuesday, it's on Tuesday afternoon?
Wednesday morning.
Wednesday morning.
Wednesday morning? 'Cause I don't-
It was Wednesday morning.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, 9 to 9:30? I'm sticking with my abstention. I just don't have a strong opinion about it. I mean, I think elected official can make a presentation. We don't have to do anything about it, but it's half an hour. I don't know. I'm just not, I don't feel strongly enough to change my position.
I have to say, if an elected official wants to bring somebody in, I don't have any heartburn about that.
The problem is, if, this is where I'm at, I'm gonna be blunt and practical. If we say no to that, then I'm gonna get a private meeting, and probably half of you are too, with Derek and the private vendor, or the operator. So it's like, it's not saving me any time. If the board can just hear it, and then we can debate it, I know we've all heard the same information, it's just a matter of efficiency for me. I know it's a slippery slope, and it could get kind of out of hand, and maybe I'll deal with that when I feel like it's gotten out of hand, but at this point, it's like, I'm gonna hear about it one way or the other, it's not saving me any time. I'm just gonna have to have a private meeting about it,
So I think you're trying to talk Wayne into it.
so,
I
I mean, I
think it's.
can't decide things when I don't have full information, and the best way I can get full information is to hear the details from the person that knows the most about it, and I'm sorry if other board members feel like that's, not
And-
good
and
use of their time, but
Let me just throw one other thing in. I think it's the same person that I had run a helicopter program for me when I was sheriff that was very successful. And I think that went on for 15 years, or I can't even remember now how long I had it, but I had it a long time. And it didn't cost the taxpayers anything other than the insurance. It was like $10,000 a year in those days. So I can't hardly, I certainly appreciated everything he did for the citizens of Thurston County, and I'm not about to say, well, now I don't want to hear from you, so.
sure.
Well, I have a couple of different proposals, so I'll be adding those to the calendar for the board to hear. Different vendors that have reached out that I'm interested in, if we're opening up the door, I know I want to take advantage of it, so.
I don't have any to bring. Nothing changes with me. I'm old-fashioned, and that's just the way it is. That's what you're stuck with. Okay, so we're there. Are we there then, as with Wayne, because it was Wayne and me, and if he wants to bring one, okay. We got other issues. I got more issues.
Okay, go ahead, Commissioner.
On the sunset of the notice of violations, we've talked about that a few times, and my concern, I've always heard, well, it's the purchaser of the new property, they should check and see if there's any violations. And it's been brought to my attention again, I don't know if somebody watched a movie or watched a meeting, but here we are in the modern era, if you will, and there's no place that I'm aware of that we can say, at 1234 South Street, is there any violations? And today, we've got quite a computer system. I would think that would be such a simple thing to have. So when a citizen has said, well, you should have checked. Well, okay, maybe they went to the counter and checked, but they didn't check everything. Well, why do they have to check everything? Why can't, in this modern day and age, if there's problems at a property, why can't it be listed on one site? 1234 South Street has got a problem. List of problems.
I think that we might have opportunities, better opportunities for something like that with the new system, do you think?
We can check.
Okay, I'm not bringing this up as hurry up and fix it right now. Just haven't fixed the problem yet. I still think it's an issue. So if you've got some.
Yeah, there would be a nexus somehow, an interface between the software and the parcel search, but we'll have to check on that.
I mean, that's something that,
be a simple
when
fix.
one does their due diligence when purchasing,
Yeah, but
Real
what's the
estate.
due diligence? How many different places do they have to go to find this information out? In this modern age, I would think if the county's got a problem with the property, shouldn't it be listed under an address somewhere? That's all I'm asking. So I'll let you guys hammer it out if you think one thing or another. I'll just ask every once in a while to see if it's been fixed, that's all. Another issue is did we fix the tax title property process or anything new there coming from the Boston Harbor community? That was kind of an issue. Anybody got a update on anything there?
I don't have an update on that, but I can follow up with Jeff. I've been working with Jeff on the process in general.
Okay, that's fine, good.
Okay,
I just
but
was asking
not
if it was
Boston
moving.
Harbor in particular. And I remember the, concerns about the property that
Yeah,
had been
that
offered.
community had, I
Yeah.
guess. They
I
worked
don't
with
know
you or
where that
something on
is.
it, I think.
We're
Oh.
setting up a work session on just
Sorry, I
in
have an
general tax title properties and other properties that the county owns.
Okay.
I
And-
do
oh,
have an update about the Boston Harbor if you want to.
No, I don't have an update.
Oh,
was
I
just-
have one.
Oh,
I
you
just-
do?
yeah.
Okay, I was just wondering
Yeah.
if there is something new.
So, I've been in multiple conversations with the Boston Harbor Association, kind of on a way to move forward. I did ask Public Works to kind of see like because the sign, the Welcome to Boston Harbor sign is right nearby there, or it's right there on that property. And so asking can this count as some beautification, park? And Public Works was going to look into that. However, two of the members serve on the Sewer and Water Utility Committee, and they're going to bring this forward to that committee, and they're going to vote on it to see if they want to go ahead and purchase that through the sewer and utility water rates. And what the treasurer said that until he hears from Public Works, it will not go to auction since this is currently, there's moving pieces, so, we're kind of I'm kind of waiting to hear from Public Works on that one piece, and then also waiting to see how the vote turns out with the committee and, bring it forward towards the board.
So Public Works cannot do any work on a sign that's on property that the county does not own, or a sign that the county does not own, without billing someone, because that is a use of county funds. So if,
My proposal was a little bit different, but I am not, I don't feel comfortable talking about it in a public setting.
I have one more issue, just quick. And, Bea and Zanette gave us a good presentation on,
Tourism.
tourism, whatnot. Where are we at on increasing that lodging?
so, Jenica and I have been looking at the state laws and the requirement that the LTAC committee do an analysis and submit a report to the Board of County Commissioners. We've been trying to figure out what that analysis needs to look like. And she's talking to our attorneys about the need to go forward with that.
The need or the desire to? We as a board, I think, have said we want to do it.
It's not about the tax, it's about the analysis. So we understand that you'd like to go forward with the tax, and we're just trying to figure out the analysis piece that the LTAC has to do. Once we know what that has to look like, then we'll get that submitted to the LTAC. That'll start the 45-day.
I thought we'd already
period.
started the 45-day.
Nope.
We had not?
Not yet, nope.
Okay,
So
well,
we're
anyway,
working
just
on
so,
it. We're
so
working
we're
on it,
working on
we're
it.
moving
Okay,
it forward.
good enough. And the reason I'm asking is because the Airbnb business is really growing, and I think there's a potential revenue source there for Annette and her crew to work with.
So the money would not go
No, I
straight
know
to
it
the
wouldn't go to her.
VCB, yep.
It'd go to Wayne's committee or something.
That's exactly right.
The LTAC committee. But I mean, still, it can help.
Sure.
It can help in the whole process. And that's it for me, sir.
Commissioner Mejia, any other items? Okay. County manager?
No, good.
All right, 3:38, we're adjourned.